The Hall of Famer Kurt Warner on loan from the NFL Network joining us on the program. Good morning, Kurt. The Cowboys have a new head coach. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw that. Interesting to me. I mean, I think one part of it, I think he's got a good presence, a big presence about him. Obviously, won a Super Bowl, so I think that meshes well with what Jerry Jones does there. His presence there. I think the thing that maybe surprised me a little bit is you have a lot of innovation this year with Kellen Moore, and you kind of thought with Dak and Zeke and what they wanted to be, and the nature of where the league is going, that they may get a younger guy with more of that offensive flair to him, because I think the one knock on Mike McCarthy towards the end of his time in Green Bay was he didn't have a lot of that. It was kind of a stagnant offense.
Yeah.
Now, I know he's done a lot and researched a lot of the league, and maybe he's coming in with a lot of innovation, but that was the one part that surprised me. But understand it from a presence standpoint, kind of coach you need to be around Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I'm curious about that relationship, but also more importantly, the relationship with a younger quarterback who's not going to the Hall of Fame anytime soon, as Aaron Rodgers is. You got a great running back as well. I'm just curious, Mike McCarthy's offensive philosophy, if it didn't jibe with Aaron Rodgers, what makes you think it'll work in Dallas?
Yeah, no, I'm fully with you. When I watched it, at Green Bay, and just felt like a lot of it was dependent on their quarterback and Aaron Rodgers to make special plays. Now, I think that's where Aaron sometimes is at his best, and so maybe it catered that direction because of him. But I agree with you. I don't think Dak's there yet where he can continually create opportunities in the passing game for his team, and so you have to create some things for him and off of the running game, as Kellen Moore, I thought, did really well early in the year, and that's when Dak was playing his best. So, again, I'm fascinated by that part of it, too, and what the offense will look like. Is he going to bring somebody with kind of that younger flair to work with him on that? I'm interested to see how that all plays out.
Where is Tom Brady playing next year, in your opinion?
To me, he's either playing in New England or he's not playing. And, I kind of took that, when he made that comment, like, hopefully unlikely, I think is what he said in his press conference, hopefully unlikely that he's retiring. That to me meant hopefully we get something done here in New England where I don't have to retire because I can't come back here. I think it's so hard to go somewhere else, especially when you look at different situations around the league, and think you're going to have the success that they had in New England or the standard of excellence that Tom has set, to expect that in another place quickly. It's always a process in building a culture and building a standard of excellence. And I don't know if there's a fit out there that I go, oh, well, if he goes here, they automatically, with what they have around him, would be a championship contender. And I'm just not sure Tom wants to go and be a part of that kind of rebuilding. And does he have enough time left to feel like he can rebuild, even if it takes, 2-3 years, tops?
Yeah, I look at the Chargers, and maybe it's just wishful thinking from folks in Los Angeles that go, yeah, he'd be the perfect quarterback, and we've got all these toys. You got a good tight end, you got 2 good wide receivers, a couple of running backs there, and you put him in, and we move into a new stadium. I mean, it all sounds like a Hollywood ending there. I just don't know if – I'm with you. I think Brady either plays with the Patriots or he doesn't play again. But I don't know if there's part of him that says, maybe I haven't gotten as much credit as I deserve, or let me show them that, which is dangerous, but, egos do play a role here. And maybe Belichick saying, yeah, I'm the genius here. I can build this again with somebody else, because we don't look at age with a coach the way we look at age as a quarterback. So we think that Belichick can coach 5 more years and age doesn't have anything to do with it.
I fully agree. There's no question ego plays into all of us as players, competitors, whatever we do when we're at the top of our game. Yeah, ego plays into it. And I fully believe that there would be a part, if the parting did happen, that both of them would relish, here, let me show what I mean to an organization, or what I meant to that New England organization outside of the other guy. But as you said, I think it's very dangerous territory, because if the split happens and either aren't successful, now they are looked upon possibly a little bit differently than they were during their time together. So I agree. Competitors, ego, all of that stuff says, yeah, let me go show everybody I can do it somewhere else. But I just think, yeah, as you said, dangerous, big picture legacy question as well. And not that maybe either of them are even worried about that, but I do think that comes into play when we're talking about ego as well.
NFL Network analyst, Westwood One analyst, and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner joining us on the show. Comfortable with the pass interference not being called on Kyle Rudolph and that game-winning score?
Not really, because we have it in place. I just really felt like that's the moment. That's why we put it in place. And I understand they were hand fighting a little bit. If you want to call it offsetting, call it offsetting, as I saw a couple times this year. But he fully extended a hand and he fully got separation and pushed the DB back on, again, the biggest play in the playoffs up to that point.
So you were to overturn that?
I would have. Yeah, I think it was obvious pass interference and let them go play another down. And again, I understand all year long it's been what it's been, and I think a lot of us feel like it's been a sham from the get-go, that they weren't really going to call it like we thought they were going to call it, and it got to the point where they weren't overturning anything. I get all of that. But to me, that was the moment that you put it in for. And I did feel like there was a definite offensive advantage where the defender – and I look at it the opposite way. If I felt the defender did that same thing and pushed the offensive guy and made the interception, I think without a doubt they throw that flag. So to me, you have to flip it and say the same thing with the ball in the air, and I thought they should have overturned and let him go again.
Give me the road team, since we had 3 road teams win this weekend and another road team that went into overtime. Give me the road team that you like the best to pull off the win this next weekend.
I guess I have to say Seattle. Again, I think Minnesota may be the best team top to bottom going anywhere. I want to see it a couple weeks in a row for them to play like they did yesterday. I mean, they dominated, I thought, in a lot of phases yesterday. I want to see that again going on the road to San Francisco. I look at Green Bay and I say they're a good team, not a great team. And, with Russell Wilson, they always find ways to keep it close. So I just feel like that could be nature with the weather and all of that stuff, a close football game where Russell Wilson could have that one possession to do what he does so well and possibly pull off the upset.
Yeah, and we just had Kirk Cousins on, and I said, no matter what you do during the regular season, it's just like Tony Romo, like we don't care. He could throw for 40 touchdowns. Yep. He could throw for 50. And you just say, yeah, but let me see what you do in the playoff. Like Matt Stafford. And even though you had that win against New Orleans in that building for a 13-win team, I think the critics are still going, yeah, but, right?
And I think everybody wants to see, too, like I always kind of gauge a franchise quarterback by situations where you have to carry your team with your right arm. In the biggest moments, nothing else is going on, and you've got to go swing for swing with another guy. And, I still think we're kind of waiting for that with Kirk. I thought it was just a perfect game the way it played out, and I thought he played an unbelievable game yesterday. But the game was close throughout. He was never asked to have to carry that team throw for throw, and I think that's what we want to see. That to me is what puts you over the top when you can look at a guy and go, oh, my gosh, there it is. Right there. He threw 45 times. They needed every throw, and he made every throw to get a big win for his team against another great quarterback or in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think you're right. We're still looking and saying, okay, you still got to do more in the playoffs to get your due.
Good to talk to you, Kurt. My best to the family, and we appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, my man. Catch you down the road.
That's Kurt Warner, NFL Network analyst and, of course, Hall of Fame quarterback.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.